Okay, so one of our one of our last objectives of the unit, we have spent a lot of time taking a table of values or a graph and writing the function for it. But I kind of want to convince you here, right, that if we have 2 points, okay, we can write a linear equation. Okay, so all we need are 2 points, and we can do it. So let's think about how that might work. Let me just make sure. Do I have that right? There we go. Okay. So basically, right, we know that any linear equation can be written in, y equals mx plus b form, right? So we only need to know two things. We need to know the slope, and we need to know what's added on, the y-intercept, right? So let's think about this function here. So we know that it passes through these 2 points. So we've got the point 2, so 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. So we know it goes through here. And we know it also goes through 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up to 11. All right, so here's, of course, our x and our y, okay? So we know it goes through there, so let's keep going. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we know the point passes through these 2 points. Okay, so if I imagine a line, right, that goes through here, let's see, I think it's probably going to do something like, something not like that. It's going to come through here, and I can't really seem to draw a line here. So let's grab the line feature. So we're going to draw a line that goes through here and then down this way. Okay, so we know that the linear function is going to kind of look like that, right? So we're going to guess that the y-intercept is a little bit less than 0, okay? And, then we'll work through it. And I'll show you a method that's really helpful here. So, like I said, we need to know two things. We need to know the slope. Let's go back to my drawing pen. We need to know the slope. Okay. So to find the slope, right, the best way to do this may be to organize a quick little table. We know that we have the point 2, 3, right? Input of 2, output of 3. And I'm going to use y, but we could use f of x as well. 2, 3, and 6, 11. Okay? So really quickly, right, my change in y, close that out. My change in y is plus 8, and my change in x is plus 4. If I divide those, I get my slope, which is 2. Okay? So now, I just have to find the y-intercept, right? So all I need to do is know one of these points. So let's think about this one. I know that this function is going to be a y equals 2x function. So I'm going to say it's going to be y equals 2x plus b, right? So let's think about this here. We know that when y is 3, the x has to be 2, and then x here is 2, right? So basically what I did was I knew that it had to turn a 2 into a 3. So I did 2 times 2 plus something had to give me 3, right? So pretty quickly, if we multiply this out, we see that 3 equals, I'm struggling with that. 3 equals 4. Oh boy. 4 plus b, right? So 4 plus something has to be 3. Well, I know that that something is negative 1. Okay? So my linear equation here for this set of points is y equals 2x minus 1. Right, and if we think about it, we should be able to check that. So 2 times x, 2 times 2 minus 1 is 3, right? And 2 times 6 minus 1 is 11. So that's the function that goes through those points. So basically we need to know two things. We need to know the slope, and we need to know a point that we can use, and we can write the linear function. This one's a little trickier, but I think we'll see that it's really the exact same technique. So let's use x and f of x this time. So we know that this function is going to take a negative 2 and turn it into a 4, right? And we know that this function is going to take a positive 2 and turn it into a negative 2. Sorry about that, guys. So, again. Boy, I can't seem to get this right today. 2 and negative 2. Okay, so, and you know, that I'm taking right from here. I've got negative 2, 4, 2, negative 2. Okay? So, you know, now we have to find the slope. We have to find the rate of change, right? So from 4 to negative 2, that's going down. So 4 to negative 2 is actually going to go down 6. Oops. So minus 6. And then from negative 2 to 2, we have to go, you know, think about that. Negative 2 to negative 1 to 0 to 1 to 2, that's plus 4. Plus 4, okay? So my slope, my rate of change, excuse me, is a change in output. Sorry about that today, guys. Change in output divided by the change in input, right? So the change in output, I can pretty clearly see is negative 6. The change in input is 4. If I divide these, I'm going to get negative 1.5, right? But I'm going to leave this actually as a fraction. I'm just going to reduce it down to negative 3/2. So here's the big idea, right? I can take any point, and I'm just going to pick, I'm going to pick this one, and it really doesn't matter. But I know that f of x, this function here is going to be a negative 3/2, right? Or a negative 1.5. We could use decimals as well. Times x plus something, right? So I just need to pick up one of my inputs and outputs. So let's I decided I'm going to focus on this point here. So that one's got an x coordinate and a y coordinate, or an output. Okay, and I know I wrote that a little bit small, so let me write that bigger. Here's my x, here's my f of x, right? Input, output. So I'm just gonna substitute, right? So I know that negative 2, right, the output, equals negative 3/2 times the input, which is 2, plus b, right? So real quick, negative 3/2, I'm going to rewrite 2 as 2 over 1, plus b, and I know that that has to be negative 2. This comes out to negative 3, plus b equals negative 2. So negative 3 plus, that's going to be positive 1, right? So my b here is 1, right? Because negative 3 plus 2 is 1. So my function here, real quick, is f of x is negative 3/2. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. X plus 1, right? If you test that for both of the points, you'll see that it works out, okay? So one more quick thing that I want to show you. All right, and I'm going to clear off this example. And we'll fill it back in. Okay, so the last thing, let's say that we knew that we had slope. Let's change the color. We know that we had slope equals, say, 4, right? And it passes through the point 7, 2. Okay? So, you know, for something like this, right, I only have one point, but I already know the slope. So this one's actually even easier, and you'll do one like this on your homework. So I know y equals mx plus b, right, because I'm writing the linear equation. The y is 2. I know it's a 4x function, right? So 4 times 7 plus b, okay? 2 equals 28 plus b. So 28 plus something has to be 2, or maybe minus something. So I know that the b has to be, in this case, minus 26, or negative 26, right? Because 28 minus 26 gives me 2. So my function here is just y equals 4x minus 26, okay? So even if I just give you a slope, at one point you're able to do it, and it's actually even easier because you don't have to start finding the slope. So that's it for today. Hopefully you'll be able to complete the homework problems, and we'll be able to discuss them in class. Thanks.